Hello, my name is Jose Estrada, and I'm a student here at Nebraska Methodist College of Nursing in Omaha in the RN to BSN program. And today my presentation will be over the social problem of student debt. According to BEST, social problems are, if asked by most, related to crime, suicide, racism, terrorism, climate change. In addition to that, there are several methods that can be applied when identifying a social problem. But regardless of the preferred definition or method, if it's a social problem, someone is usually getting the short end of the stick. Today, I will be going over student debt as a social problem, who it affects, and how it correlates to academic history in the United States. Student debt is a clear concern for many Americans, with debt reaching $1.73 trillion in 2021. This is a concern because many borrowers cannot afford to pay their loans back. Factors that play into this are lack of financial education, predatory lending practices, low salaries after graduation, and low graduation rates in general, especially in community colleges. Those most affected are low income households and people of color. The United States student debt has reached an all time high. According to HES, the Federal Reserve estimates $1.733 trillion is owed in student debt, which is a 3% increase from 2020. When compared to student debt in 2011, it is a 91% debt increase in just 10 years. Among this inequality, West Virginia is the most affected by student debt when compared to with debt to income ratios, and Utah with the lowest debt of graduates at $17,935. Student loan policies are affected by variations from institution, state, and investment in public colleges. The suggestion is that more states follow what low debt states are doing to keep the numbers more manageable, such as need-based finance, financial aid, and state grant aid programs, as opposed to merit-based programs. This reduces net cost and limits borrowing. In addition, to rid from opportunistic lending habits which concentrate in certain geographical regions, affecting low income and students of color, which often receive less state funding in general. And this is talking to about like high schools and stuff. Some the high schools get money according to their zip code and how much the property value is and taxes and such. And this is a perfect example in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Massachusetts for colleges. The reality is that this has been an ongoing problem, as I mentioned previously. In the academic setting, there have already been many efforts with the goal to end discrimination and correct past injustices, such as in the case Brown versus Board of Education in 1954, which ruled racial segregation in public schools to be unconstitutional, or the more recent affirmative action programs aimed towards inclusion of a diverse range of people from different geographical areas, socioeconomic classes, experiences, backgrounds, and races. The purpose of affirmative action in college admissions is to correct past injustices done to minorities and women. The following is just my viewpoint on this issue and how I see things. I think student loan programs began as a good idea with the National Defense Act, with a clear objective to encourage education and invest in American citizens. Then banks were made the middleman between the aid and the borrower. and more recently through loan servicers. These institutions which have ruined many people's lives. Some questions I have for you is how many of you know the name of your lender for your classes here at Methodist College of Nursing? If you're like most of my friends, you probably don't know your lender or your interest rate. Do you know if your loan is private or federal? Did you know that only certain types of loans qualify for debt forgiveness? So if you were planning to work for a nonprofit, I would follow up on your loan papers. To no one's surprise, several loan servicers and institutions have lawsuits against them. I will say it's not our fault that they use tactics to take advantage of students. Just look at your last credit card statement. It's not easy to read. Terminology used is misleading and designed on purpose to maximize profit. You shouldn't have to be educated to understand how much you owe, when your bill is due, and how interest rates work. In the future, I would like to see a more clear, concise, direct language used in loans for students.